How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. We're back on NASCAR 21 Ignition. I have not played it, but we are back on the Dev Diaries. This is a 12-minute video, okay? 12 minutes. I don't know what is going to be said. There's probably a lot of talking here, so I'm going to make sure I have the audio for the actual video itself pretty high so you guys can hear it, and then hopefully we'll all come out okay. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's see what this is all about.
Welcome back to our inside look at NASCAR 21 Ignition. We're wrapping up our three-part Dev
Oh, hell,
Diary
whoa. This is a 12-minute video, and you're already showing me F1 style pre-race? Excuse me? Oh my god. Okay, this is going to be a long one. Wow. I just want to see that again. Okay, no, you know what? No, I can't do that. I can't do that, guys. No pausing. No pausing. All right, that's wow. Okay. All right. That's F1. I mean, more gameplay.
And we cannot thank them enough. NASCAR 21 Ignition is a title we've built from the ground up, and contrary to what some people might think, we've moved on from what came before.
This is absolutely not.
Oh, Elliot!
It's not a NASCAR Heat game.
It's Bobby Carter.
Franchise, and I think it's a great.
It's not NASCAR Heat 6. Oh, Bobby Carter, look at you.
You know, a lot of what we're focused on.
Oh,
is
hello.
Authenticity and bringing out real aspects of stock car racing in what this game.
Oh, hello! What? Jesus!
I think there's been a heavy focus on
the production.
Really just making sure that the Cup Series is as competitive as it is. When you sign up for a team in the career,
Jay's mustache is
you're gonna
honestly
go straight to
amazing.
the Cup team and get those offers, but it's going to focus on hitting those marks and doing what you need to do for that team to prove that you belong there. I think the ability to
You see that rear slide on Keselowski?
Cup car. Not everybody gets to do that. Even Xfinity drivers don't get to do that. There's a ton of drivers who come up through NASCAR who never make it to the Cup Series. You know, but this game is going to give you the opportunity to jump right in, be a Cup driver, and feel what that experience is like. And I think that's something that a lot of the fans are really going to enjoy.
And we hope you do enjoy it, but don't rule out seeing Xfinity or truck drivers in the game just yet, because as the seasons progress, you might see drivers come and go. A name you might have heard a lot during the development of this game is Studio 397, the Netherlands-based team behind R Factor 2. Their vehicle physics, tire modeling, and AI systems have been brought over for NASCAR 21 Ignition, and it's really something.
Studio 397, you know, they bring a whole wealth of knowledge of racing games and graphics and visuals that I think is super important as we move forward with the next iterations of the NASCAR game.
Studio 397 has been awesome, not even just from a physics standpoint. We've worked with them for about the last year and a half on improving multiple areas of the game, including AI and dynamic track. A lot of what you see in
If
NASCAR
Elliot's
is
saying it, then it's right,
related
man.
to the idea of being able to race side by side, or one guy.
Elliot's my age.
That famous
He grew
Kyle
up
Larson
loving
line,
the same
Tyler
games that I
Reddick line
loved.
now. You've also got
So-
the guys at bottom feed, like Kevin Harvick at Atlanta, that are just known to go down there. So a lot of what you'll see is dynamic AI racing
guys,
between
one guy that
characteristics
gets
AI,
it
but
is
as well
this
as
guy.
just general
Elliot gets it.
AI line.
Like, you guys complain, like, we want NASCAR Thunder. He's played all those games. He's played NASCAR Racing. He's played NASCAR Thunder. He's played the bad games, the good games, everything. He knows. Like, his opinions and my opinions are literally the same on all the games. So
As we look forward to the
It's,
future of this game, I feel like they're going to
it's
play
in
a
safe
crucial
hands
part
when he's
in,
part of the team.
how we evolve and how we continue to improve. If you look at some of the products that they've worked on that are
Like,
out
literally
there now,
anything that I would probably want in the NASCAR game, Elliot probably has already mentioned.
So we can marry that
Like,
with
me
our
and him,
NASCAR
we think the
game
same
and
exact way.
Deliver that to our fans and our players, and I think it's going to be highly encouraging.
But getting Studio 397 in to give their expertise on physics and simulation is
This video is gonna have a lot of gameplay. That's why I'm not pausing it, guys. There's just so much gameplay.
And the results, as you've seen so far, are stunning.
Visually, we've moved to Unreal Engine from Unity.
Thank God.
And that helps us in a lot of different aspects, but I think overall what that does is just bring us up in quality.
The
Thank God.
visuals as you play this are really
Thank God.
what pop out to me. Speed when you're in the car.
A lot of what you see now is just a little bit clearer, crisper quality. The shadows, the sense of speed, the colorization. Like, it's hard to really put into detail what all that is until you see it.
The things around the track that you don't even really think of, that are maybe flying in the air, planes flying in the air, balloons, things around the racetrack. They're not core to the game of racing, but they're added elements that I think just people really enjoy.
Being driven by Unreal Engine really sets the foundation for what we're trying to do in the future with next generation titles, and we felt like was the best direction to move in visually.
Studio 397 is just one piece of a larger puzzle. While we worked directly with NASCAR in some aspects of the game, we also worked with real NASCAR Cup Series drivers to get
Look at that
insight
presentation.
into the sport only they would know.
So we've worked with plenty
It looks a
of
little
drivers
bit
in the
stiff,
past,
but it's their first time
with
doing it, so I'm not
Brackett Best,
surprised.
Joe Logano, Ryan Blaney, and others, and we look forward to continuing that tradition moving forward with this current project and in coming years. And I think they're all very excited for what we're
Ooh,
building.
look at
I think
Homestead.
they're very pleased with the direction that we're
My
going
beautiful
in
home track.
and
I love you so much.
what we're providing as far as physics, visuals, and the cinematic approach. I think a lot of their feedback has been related to just how authentic it really is and feels and what we're going for.
Their input helped us include a whole new dimension to racing in NASCAR 21 Ignition, an area it feels only drivers can tread.
One of the biggest things about this game that we want to kind of showcase is we want to take the player and make them feel like they're a driver, make them feel like they're at the racetrack.
In those moments in practice, there's so much going through your head that it's almost
Hello,
unconscious
Mr.
effort as
Cindric.
far as, getting backed out of the garage and going
This
around
is
the
all
building,
from
getting on
F1.
the racetrack.
You could
that
tell
stuff
Codemasters guys
it's
worked
so
on this game.
subconscious to where you're really only thinking about, oh, okay, I need to do this and hit my marks here.
And by the way, that's not a complaint. I want this game to literally be a mirror image of F1 if possible. So
that's the moment where it gets real.
You're counting down the minutes to go out, right? And I was like, all right, weekend starts now.
Be pushed back out of the garage stall by your team members. That was one of the coolest things that I've seen. The national anthem and the flyover, and just standing on pit road.
I get to sing the national anthem again. I've been doing that in Thunder the whole time.
As somebody who's worked on race teams and been in the garage, it's been really cool to see that aspect. To be sitting in the cockpit and be handed a data pad, and that's how you
lap data.
work your setups. You can see
There's
your
the car
lap times
setups.
in there. Because those are
Still
things that
haven't seen the
actually happen
detailed
in
setups
real
yet.
life.
Now, that's a great feature.
If it's
you
even
guys
in the
are
game
gonna
or
do. Just like you said, a little bit more immersive experience of what we go
So
through.
does this
It's not
mean
just,
every
go to
track
the
has an
racing game.
immersive
It's like,
garage
all right,
area?
Cars on pit road, roll out.
Because
You know,
that'd be really
it's-
cool.
yeah, it's a
Like
whole
every
different
single
thing,
track, the garage area is
so it just
detailed.
makes you feel like, all right,
Well,
this
actually,
is my
technically, you're
car,
not in the
this
garage
is,
area here.
What I do, and then you can go back and look at all your data and stuff like that. It just gives you the full experience with me, which I think is a great addition.
A lot of people have sat in the stands or watched on television, but they might not have had a hot pass or the ability to get in the garage or on pit road. And I feel like we're trying to give them that experience, and it really comes through.
But the drivers weren't only offering their experience to NASCAR 21.
I will say one thing, quick pause. The only issue I've had graphically with this game comes at Bristol. I think there's like that glare or whatever it is, just the lights coming off the car, it's too much. Like, don't you guys think it's just too much? I don't think it should be like hitting the car that aggressively. It looks like just a bunch of white lights coming off the car. I don't know. I've only seen it at Bristol though, which is the weird thing. Like, I remember seeing screenshots at Richmond and it doesn't happen there. Richmond at night. But it happens here. So I don't know. There's just something about that I think needs to be tweaked a little bit graphically. It just seems like a little bit too much. I don't know.
Virtual driver's seat. Taking a real life person and putting them into a video game isn't an easy task, but we got a bit of help from a load of cameras to scan the drivers' heads and put them into the game. Looks like a pretty cool experience, right?
I mean, it's definitely a new experience.
By the way, this stuff will get better throughout the years. The scanning. This is their first time doing it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's not
quicker than I thought
ideal.
it was gonna be. But yeah, that's a little bit different. Never had that done before.
I've seen a lot of stuff. Been racing 33 years now, and I've seen a lot of different TV studios and things like that. I have never seen nothing like that. That was more cameras per square inch than ever before in my life.
It's a lot of cameras for sure, but it gave us some really detailed information that could be translated into the final models you see in the game. It's almost like scanning a track, but on a much smaller scale, and not to eventually be driven over. But how much did it mean to these drivers to see themselves
I'm
in a
guessing that's
video
Austin
game?
Cindric.
Well, it means a lot. I remember picking my favorite drivers as a kid. Jimmy Johnson.
I mean, F1's been doing driver scans for years, and Lewis Hamilton still doesn't look right. So they've been doing it for a decade, so it takes time.
Like I was a kid again.
It's hard for me to give myself some perspective that someone would want to, get in a video game and like, oh, where's Cindric, I mean, that's something I struggle conceptualizing. Maybe that's just because I don't think that much of myself, but it is very cool, though, because
what a nice
that's what
guy.
I've come to in my career.
If you guys know me, when I first was introduced to Cindric, I didn't like him. Now I like him. That usually happens a lot, though.
getting to be a part of the video game is just something that you never think about growing up, because I mean I've played these games, I mean, as a kid and stuff, and it's just like now to actually know that we're going to be in there and you're going to see, you know, me standing in a game somewhere. It's just, honestly, can't wait to see it. It's just crazy to think about that.
Being involved with video games isn't anything new for many drivers on the grid, with some of them even getting into the sport through playing
That's interesting.
NASCAR
There's
video
closed
games of
captions
old.
for the spotter.
I played a
That's
lot
nice.
growing up.
Just in case
that
you don't
was,
want, you want
a
to, like,
good
you can't hear it or
time
something.
passer, especially in the bus when I traveled with that.
Accessibility
The
options,
original
always good.
NASCAR Heat game, that was probably like the one that I played the most.
I also remember playing, I think it was NASCAR 2011. Had that on PlayStation 3.
That game was
And,
crap.
when I was a kid, Brad Keselowski came to my house, and we actually played we raced each other. I think I beat him one time, and it was like the coolest thing ever.
It's amazing how far video
His dad's the
games
president of Penske,
go.
hence why that
You
happened.
know, racing video games, any kind of video game, but the racing stuff is really neat to me because it's just getting more realistic each time. And different tracks, it's a cool way for fans to play as their favorite driver or go to their favorite track, whatever. But yeah, I played a lot growing up, and it's been neat to watch the progression.
But in the same way the drivers of today found themselves obsessed with NASCAR through gaming,
Talladega looks a little bit too
next
fresh,
generation
doesn't
of
it?
fans Or even drivers are getting involved in
I feel
the
like
sport
the
through their
pavement's been a
consoles.
little bit more worn
There's
out
a
than
lot of
what it
new
looked like
interest in
there.
the sport this time.
See,
We're
this
seeing
Bristol
new
looks
owners in the
okay. It's just a
sport.
little bit, the
We're
lights
seeing
are just
new-
hitting
new
it too
fans
much. The
entering
little
the
white
sport.
lights
People
from
have
the,
never seen NASCAR before ever
LEDs.
are now interested in because all these big names like Michael Jordan and Pitbull are getting involved.
Kids playing video
Can we-
games and
Can we
getting
face
introduced to
scan
the
Michael
sport
Jordan as an owner and put
at
him in the
that
game?
level at
That'd be
home
nice.
Creates interest, right?
You can't just go out and throw a basketball. You can't go out and just drive a race car. So it's really your only connection as a race fan.
I remember the same thing happened to me. You know, I started playing racing games, and next thing you know, my interest in racing goes up. I want to go to the racetrack, and
That's
so I
how
think
it
it's
works.
great, and
This
I
is
think
why
it
I've been
definitely
pissed off
helps,
that the games have
you know,
sucked
spark
for a
interest in
decade.
young fans.
When you have new eyes on the sport,
If you have a great
new
video
fan
game,
interest,
kids are gonna get
I think it's
into it.
important to
Kids
have
are the
a
most
game at
important
the
part to
same time
get
that really
into any
allows them
sport,
to
because then they become
feel
fans for life.
of, what
It's
like
not
to
hard,
be at a
guys.
racetrack, what
Like,
it's like to drive these
come on.
cars. And I think, you know, things that are going on behind the scenes that the development team and engineers know way more than I do. I'm really encouraged, and
His mustache is
the week I
absolutely
started
incredible.
at
I'm sorry, I
Motorsport
just can't
Games,
get rid of that from my mind.
It's something that I've
That's
been really
beautiful.
encouraged and can't wait for everybody to see.
Building
No,
NASCAR
no, 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 no,
21
no, no, no.
ignition
There's
has
music,
been-
music. I gotta mute it, guys. Sorry, I gotta mute it. There's I heard the stupid song that I got copyrighted for before. That's not happening again. So I'll just give yourself some self-comment. So Rusty would be saying, "This is the best looking game ever," and NASCAR 21 has had a lot of work in from all of the developers here at Motorsport Games, and we cannot wait for you to see the product on October 28th, 2021. Pre-orders are now available on PS4. And whoa, wait a minute. You can't do that to me. No, Jesus Christ. Okay, now we got to go back, because right at the end, there was some paint booth stuff that I need to see. All right, this is Bristol Dirt. Hello, everyone. Bristol Dirt. I got to pause this at the right time. Okay, Chevy, Ford, Toyota. Wait, I'm just too fat. Change car number, set number. Wait, set number. Can we move the number forward and backwards? Oh, people are gonna have a heyday with that one. All that dilemma of where should the number go? Well, it looks like you might be able to set it. Okay, what is this? Wow, that's a lot of colors. Wheel stripe, wheels, roof rail, spoiler, side skirt, body. This reminds me a lot of the Utechnics games, which is exactly what I'm okay with. I mean, that's kind of what that is. So many colors. I am a pink guy, lads. So to see this many colors of pink, I like that. I like that very much. Okay, whoa, I missed out. Hold on. What is this? Sponsors, you can move. Yeah, this is all from, what's it called? The Utechnics games. It's very similar to that, so that's good. Let me just try to back up here. That's that's body. Choose number. All right, sponsors. I just want to see what sponsors we got in here. Obviously, Motorsport Games, Automated France, Unity, Speedy Cash, Permatex, Roush Funway Racing. I'm hoping they can maybe get their hands on a lot of different sponsors. Obviously, we don't know what they can get their hands on, but the more sponsors, the better. The more actual real life sponsors, you know. Like, can we get like Fox and NBC or something? Can we get like a McDonald's? Can we get a Coca-Cola? You know, can that stuff be put in the game? Gatorade, obviously, like one of my favorite cars to make from the Heat games, even though the Heat paint schemes were not that good, was the Gatorade paint scheme. I think people could go kind of crazy with the Gatorade paint scheme. There's a lot of different colors you can use and stuff, so that's good. And that's it. Okay, so let's go back. There's a lot to There's a lot to go over here. All right, so first thing I want to look at is definitely this. So this is pre-race presentation. Obviously we have a ton of guys on pit road. This is pretty impressive because remember, this is not a next gen game. This is a current gen game. So the fact that they're able to get, this might be 50 to 60 models on pit road. That's pretty impressive. Now, what I will say is, because they're adding so many models, don't expect the models to look super great because, again, the more quantity over quality, kind of, that's how it works. You put a lot more quality lessons a little bit. But we can look at their... So you can see this reminds me a lot of the early F1 games. That's kind of how the quality is. There is one thing I noticed that's a little bit worrying. Look at this guy back here. Yeah, that movement reminds me of just like the fans in the stands. It's very very, I don't know. It looks like it's been rendered in 20 FPS essentially. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. But it is what it is. Dover looks pretty good. Obviously contact and stuff looks good. There's a little bit of a... I've had this problem in the Heat games before. There's an anti-aliasing issue right here. If you look at the fence, which you play it, you can see how it loads in as you drive. That's been an issue in so many racing games, but hopefully, on PC I can maybe, with the graphic settings, be able to run it to where it doesn't do that. Anything else? Elliot Henderson, obviously. Beautiful Elliot Henderson. This was more pre-race presentation. I don't know where this is in the game, though. Like, when you press play in the race weekend, essentially, where do you go from that? Is this... Because this isn't career, right? Because in career, you technically are your own driver. We're hanging out with Kyle Larson here in the garage. And he's getting data from his crew here and all the boxes and stuff. So, yeah, and the crowd. I don't know. It's very interesting. One thing I would say is it's kind of weird that you have the 5 cars, what's it called? The 5 cars box here, and all the other guys don't have anything, which is a little bit weird, but again, that's graphic stuff, I promise you, if this was a PS5 game, I think you would see like a lot more detail just because the PS5 and the Xbox Series X have a lot more memory. And one thing I do want to point, guys, remember, common denominator. If you are making a game that's on PS4, or let's just go back in the day, PS3, whatever, right? You have to account for the lowest common denominator. So if you're making a PS5 game and an Xbox Series X game, but the game still has to run on PS4 and Xbox One, then you can't add all those incredibly great features that only the PS5 and the Xbox Series X can run with the SSD. You can't add that into a PS4 game. So, like, if you wanted to be super immersively detailed and have all the equipment for all the teams and all the crew members, this would have to be exclusive to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, because just in reality, the PS4 and the Xbox One do not have the memory or the speed to be able to handle all of this. That's just the reality, guys. That unfortunately. So that's why I'm hoping for next year. I understand NASCAR fans. Most people really can't even get their hands on a PS5 or Series X right now. But as soon as we can, I would like to leave the PS4 and the Xbox One behind and go exclusively to next gen and PC. So that way, the lowest common denominator gets raised, and graphically, you'll see a lot of improvement. You will see that in games that are exclusive to the next gen consoles and PC. But it's still good. This is still, guys, compared to NASCAR Heat, I mean, I could literally just get up and walk away. It's not a comparison. It isn't. So it's still good. I'm not complaining. This is nice. I'm guessing this means each driver will have custom helmets, which is nice. That's an upgrade from NASCAR Heat. So essentially, each driver will have their own fire suit. Each driver will have their own custom helmets. So this one has Larson's, and like every driver will have their own helmet. and stuff like that. So that's really nice. There's Jay again. Again, his mustache. Good God, Jay, your mustache is so beautiful. Thank God. That's a gift to mankind. That's what that mustache is. There's a slide from Keselowski I wanted to talk about here. Now, again, we don't know the assists. We don't know like what level, who's driving, all that stuff. But just look at the rear end. You can see, look at it, is leaning on the left rear. Look at that. That you can see it. You can visibly see that the car it's leaning on the left rear. It's sliding a little bit when you're on throttle. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I need to play this game already. Like, and actually, well, technically I did play it, but it was Daytona. You can't really test out the physics at Daytona. But yeah, this was. I wanted to look at this shot again. I'm guessing this is Richmond early on. Yeah. See, it does this thing. This little white light thingy. I don't know what this is, but that needs to stop. That's a little bit annoying on the eyes. But sunset. Game looks pretty good. It'll look better without YouTube compressing the quality. Here we go. Ryan Blaney has his custom helmet, Menards, Ford, all that stuff. He has all the sponsors on his fire suit, which is nice. Yeah, there we go. Looks good to me, right? Oh wait, no, there are more pit boxes here. Oh, what? I don't know. I'm all confused then. I got no idea. But there's a lot of gameplay in this video, guys. A lot. R Factor 2, we've heard of that. Bristol again. R Factor 2. A lot of Darlington. Like a lot of Darlington in this gameplay video style. Is there anything else I missed, guys? I don't think so. I think we got everything. Here's Homestead. I already talked about the cameras, guys. We have 7 different cameras. This is one. There's a roof cam. There's an inside cockpit cam. There's a dash cam. There's a chase cam. There's a far chase cam. There's a bumper cam. I think is that all 7? There's a lot of cameras. So you guys will be able to find something. And for me, you guys, when you guys watch me play, you notice how I love to always change the camera like really quickly. It's like a habit I always have. I don't know why. I just always constantly run through the cameras. So the fact that I'm gonna have to run through 7 cameras is gonna be a little bit of a pain for me. But I just have that thing. It's just what I do. AI wise, I haven't been able to tell what the AI are really doing, but there's like a bump here. Yeah, see that little bump coming out of turn 2 at Darlington? That's nice. Wait, Darlington. Let me take a look at the asphalt. Is this the patch? Do they have the patch in the game? I can't tell. Maybe I need more. I have to pay more attention or closer to that. This is turn 1 and 2, which has the new asphalt, right? But does it lighten up over here? I don't know. I don't think it does. Yeah, I think the asphalt for Darlington maybe needs to get a little bit lighter. But everything else, the backing out of the garage, this is straight out of F1. You guys will like this. You know, go into a practice session. To start the practice session, essentially what you do is you press like go, and then your team will back you out. And what should happen is you should be able to go through the garage, which is why I was saying, does every track have a detailed infield? Because essentially, if you're gonna get backed out of the garage, each garage stall is different at each track. So then you have, like R Factor 2, you'd have to drive out of the garage and onto the pit road, which would be really, really cool. But I don't know. We haven't seen that if they do that yet. But yeah, then we have the national anthem, the flyover, data pad. We have all this ambient temperature stuff and all that. Lap data, best average, overall best lap, overall worst lap, time, laps. This is beautiful. This is good for you guys that are, like really taking it seriously and like really want to do as well as possible. This will help a lot. This will help in league racing. This will help for pro drivers. This will help for you guys that want to get into for the competitive scene, which I will not be a part of, but for the competitive scene on these games, having this kind of data at your hands is very important. And you guys will be able to just see like, oh, my worst lap I did this, my best lap I did this, my average. You can see how well you're doing over the course of a certain run. Compare that to another run. This is all stuff you need for competitive league racing, and I think you guys will be very happy with all this. Only thing is, I still have not seen the detailed setups. I don't know if that's going to be coming in or not. Maybe in an update on the game, because I don't see anything where it says like, oh, you can adjust all this other stuff. I just see like basic, stuff, but it's okay. Other than that, guys, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to see. Everything else is just normal gameplay that we have seen. The scanning,
As a kid.
and that's pretty much it. Paint booth at the end as well, and that's it. So, no, don't play that music. Good lord. Guys, what do you think? NASCAR 21, the making of the game, essentially. The people, the developers, the guys who made it, a lot of new cool stuff. What do you think? Game comes out in a month and a week, right? A month and 10 days, somewhere around there. I don't know. My opinions right now are the game is, I mean, what I expected. I think it's going to be a good game. It just really is how many features and how many details are we going to get. I still think the game will lack feature-wise. I think that's very obvious, and I think the developers are even saying that. But within the game, how detailed it is. Like, not game modes, but like, you know, practice sessions, during qualifying, during race, presentation, all that stuff. How detailed is it? How well is it delivered? And then obviously the gameplay on track has to be very good. And then if that happens in future iterations, we'll be good to go to add all the cool features. They did mention trucks and Xfinity, like drivers going up and down in career mode. That is confirmed. So if you guys don't know, I haven't talked about this on YouTube at least. Essentially, in your career, there will be a sort of silly season. Drivers will retire, and essentially what happens is when a driver retires, an Xfinity or a truck driver will fill in that spot, but they're not necessarily in the game. Does that make sense? Does that necessarily... So, like, think about when you play, like, a golf game. I think this is the best example I can get. When you play a golf game and you play career in golf, and you see the names of your competitors, but they're not playable. So you would see Tiger Woods, right? But he wouldn't be a playable character in the game. That's essentially what I think you're going to get here, is that you're going to get a name, Haley Deegan, a Noah Gragson, a Justin Allgaier, a Ty Gibbs. You're going to get those names in the game, and they will come into career mode, but you necessarily won't be able to play as them in single player, or their paint scheme or their car won't be there. Does that entirely make sense? Because I think that's essentially what is going to be the silly season in career mode, which is nice. I wonder how they got around that, because usually teams and sponsors do not want drivers to leave said team and sponsor. So it's kind of hard in the game to get, Ty Gibbs to leave Joe Gibbs Racing and fill in for, I don't know, Kevin Harvick, who retired in the game. And then next thing you know, Ty Gibbs is running at SHR. It's very hard to get that to be okayed with all the licensing and all that nonsense, the legality issues. So I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but that's essentially what they're saying, is that Xfinity and trucks will come up to the cup when someone retires. I don't know if you will see, like, Chase Elliott move teams. I don't think that will happen. I don't think, because, again, for legal reasons, I don't think they can do that. But for retirements and stuff, I guess they found a loophole or something. So that's very cool for career mode. But let me know what you think. Sorry if this took too long. I was not expecting this to be a 12-minute video, guys, so I apologize. And I will see you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you want to see more NASCAR 21 content, when it comes out, I will play it. So subscribe. Don't worry about that. And yeah, pre-orders for PlayStation are open now, by the way. If you guys want to go ahead and pre-order it. PlayStation hasn't been able to be pre-ordered for a while, so it's open now. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.